The Eastern Barred Bandicoot is extinct in the wild, and it's the job of the Eastern Barred Bandicoot recovery team to ensure the survival of the species into the future. To help do that, we create predator-proof enclosures such as this one. As we have learned, foxes and cats are one of the biggest threats to the survival of the Eastern Barred Bandicoot. To make our fences predator-proof, they have to meet certain criteria. One of those is a minimum of 1.8 metres tall. It has to have chicken wire from top to bottom. Also has to have the floppy top, electric wires and a skirt. The skirt sits flush to the ground and stops animals digging under our fence. Fences need constant maintenance, and it comes down to staff and volunteers as a team of individuals to come out and check these fences regularly. At Hamilton, we check our fence at least 5 times a week. So things we look for along our fence are holes or animals starting to dig underneath. Any hole within this fence, fist-sized or over, we class as a breach. And a breach is a large enough hole for an animal to get through. The floppy top on our fence has proved critical to stopping animals from climbing over. These could include foxes, cats, plus kangaroos can jump that high.
So we've just stopped at this section of fencing because there's some roo damage here. And what the roos do is they can actually jump high enough to get over this fence. But sometimes what they do is actually land on the top of our floppy top here and damage it. So what we're going to do is just bend that back into shape.
We also look for animals trying to dig under our fence. Now, all fences have their own issues. In Hamilton, we have swamp rats, we have water rats, and we have foxes trying to dig under our fence. So other sites have other animals trying to get in, such as echidnas. Kangaroos and wallabies can bounce into our fence. We have to be very careful about this because they can create large holes, which can be difficult to fix.
So you can see here where we've had an animal hit the fence from the outside and it's pushed the fencing in. That's not so much of a problem for us because it hasn't damaged the netting here. It just looks a bit ugly, I guess, but it's still functional. If an animal hits it from the inside out, it can actually take these clips off and we can have the netting hit the hot wire and short the hot wire out right the way around the fence. So that's why we check it all the time to make sure that hasn't occurred.
Other natural occurrences such as storms can create issues of their own. Trees can fall over our fence, causing major breaches. This is one of the reasons we check our fence so often, so as to make sure we can clear those trees as quick as possible. Disappointingly, we do sometimes have issues with humans. We have had vehicles run into our fence, and we've had people cut holes in our fence to come to this site for fishing. This site is open to the public and they can get access via 2 counterweighted gates. We do occasionally bring vehicles in here and we operate a strict policy of a lock-in, lock-out system. So on the ground here we've got some new posts and struts and some new chicken wire, and what we're planning on doing is replacing this corner assembly. As you might be able to see, I don't know, is that this post is starting to be pushed outwards and we're worried about its structural integrity, and we can also see as we look along the fence that these wires are starting to droop just because that post is being pushed outwards. So we've just walked down from that corner assembly we looked at a moment ago, and you can really see here the fence is sagged quite low at this point, and it's far too low. The fence should be much higher than this. 1.8 metres tall minimum is probably sitting at about 1.5 at this point. So this is clearly not up to standard, and this week we will be repairing that. You can help the Eastern Barred Bandicoot by volunteering. One of the jobs is to walk the fence, and the more people we have walking the fence, the securer the fence will be. If you see an issue with the fence, call DELP on 13 61 86.